I give the floor to the Permanent Representative of Pakistan.
Thank you, Mr. President. We welcome the participation of His Excellency Mr. Asad Hassan al-Shaybani, Foreign Minister of the Syrian Arab Republic, in today's meeting. We also thank Special Envoy Pedersen and ASG Masuya for their valuable briefings. Syria, with its ancient, rich and diverse heritage and resilient people, has long stood as a cradle of civilization. Today, after years of conflict and suffering, it finds itself at a pivotal juncture. Recent political developments present an opportunity for peace, unity, and reconstruction. We are hopeful that the new Syrian leadership will chart a course towards inclusivity, stability, and prosperity. The international community must seize this moment to support Syria's transition. Pakistan has been concerned about the protracted conflict in Syria and its profound humanitarian and regional consequences. Addressing this crisis requires a comprehensive approach, one that acknowledges the interlinked challenges facing the Syrian people. Allow me to highlight 5 key points in this regard. First, we welcome the formation of Syria's new government. This step has filled the constitutional vacuum and restored a legitimate framework for international engagement. It is a necessary move toward peace and national reconciliation. Pakistan continues to support a Syrian-owned and Syrian-led inclusive political process based on the principles contained in Security Council Resolution 2254. We recognize regional and international efforts aimed at facilitating Syria's peaceful transition and reintegration into the international community, and urge that all these efforts be aligned solidly behind the overall shared objective of durable peace and stability in Syria. Second, sanctions remain a major impediment to Syria's recovery. With over 80% of the population living below the poverty line, and with the economy in crisis, unilateral coercive measures severely constrain humanitarian efforts and post-conflict reconstruction. These measures limit access to essential goods, services, and financial resources. In light of the evolving ground realities, we urge a comprehensive reassessment of these sanctions, which must not hinder humanitarian relief or national recovery. Third, transitional justice and national reconciliation are essential. The recent violence in coastal regions underscores the urgency of addressing historical grievances and promoting inclusive justice. Any transitional justice mechanism must be impartial, objective, and avoid a retributive approach. It should be supported by neutral international stakeholders, including the United Nations. We note the recent extension of a deadline for the fact-finding committee and stress the importance of a transparent and credible inquiry into recent incidents. Fourth, stability in Syria hinges on the unification of its military and security institutions. We must also remain vigilant against terrorism. The UN sanctions regime should be reviewed to ensure it supports humanitarian and reconstruction efforts while maintaining safeguards against the resurgence of terrorist groups and their affiliates. Striking this balance between enabling recovery and countering terrorism must guide our collective approach. Fifth, Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity must be fully respected. Pakistan is deeply alarmed by the continued and intensified Israeli airstrikes on Syrian territory and statements about a long-term military presence in southern Syria. These actions constitute blatant violations of international law and relevant Security Council resolutions. Pakistan strongly condemns these violations and calls for full compliance with the 1974 disengagement agreement. Israel's occupation of the Syrian Golan Heights remains illegal. In line with Security Council Resolution 497, it is null and void. This Council must demand Israel's complete withdrawal from the occupied Golan Heights. Finally, the humanitarian situation in Syria remains dire. Over 16.5 million people require assistance. Nearly 40% of hospitals and over 50% of primary health care facilities are non-functional. The scale of this suffering calls for urgent and sustained international assistance. Alongside emergency relief, we must prioritize the restoration of basic infrastructure and essential public services to support long-term recovery. In conclusion, Madam President, at this consequential moment in Syria's journey, the imperative is clear: to transform the promise of peace into a tangible reality for its people. This demands a comprehensive approach and continued international engagement and support that empowers the Syrian people to shape their own destiny. After years of conflict and immeasurable suffering, the Syrian people deserve a future that is marked by dignity, stability, and opportunity. Pakistan reaffirms its unwavering solidarity with the Syrian people and remains firmly committed to supporting all credible efforts towards a united, peaceful, and prosperous Syria. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Pakistan for his statement.